Hey, Jules Blessed Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. So I've been doing 7 days of Abraham Lincoln quotes, and I was going to put the quote as the icon for this video, but I decided instead to put that side-by-side image of myself. And that actually popped up on Facebook saying a picture of you, from 3 years ago today. And I was just like, wow. What a difference. Okay, what a difference. And sometimes it's very hard for me to see that there's any difference, and I tend to be so critical, hypercritical of myself, that I don't really give myself any room to celebrate. And even though that first one is grainy because I had to copy it off of Facebook and everything, and it was actually probably a picture of a picture, I don't know. But anyway, I thought, well, I'll go ahead and take a picture of me right now. So I literally took that picture in the moment tonight, and I put that together. And I just thought, I do my eating plan perfectly imperfect. I've been way more perfect in the last, few months than at all. And I just found vegan, literally, it was 3 years ago this month that I even started to investigate. Like around October, I was kind of thinking I've got to do something different. I started eating like literally just pieces of vegetable, like an entire cucumber, an entire bell pepper. I changed from cow cheese to goat cheese because I heard it was better for me. I changed from yogurt to Greek yogurt because I heard it was better. I did like small changes like that. I started to eat some nuts, like in between my regular weekend warrior binges, okay? I started changing it up a little bit as best I knew. And that started in October of that year. So let me think about that. 2017, I guess 2017. So like October of 2017. And then in January of 2018, I had stumbled upon Tanny Raw around October, where I started seeing all these videos. If you don't know Tanny Raw, she's a social phenom on every platform for health. You can definitely find her, but she just had great energy. She was such a kick. I found out that she actually coached, and I asked my husband if I could please have for my birthday a little 3-pack coaching. And he thought it was crazy, but he honored it. So it was 3 years ago this month that I literally talked to Tanny Raw. She told me her whole program. It didn't mean anything to me at all. I was just stoked to talk to a superstar in the vegan community, and just this person with great energy that I thought was amazing. So that was fine. And then for the next, 6 months, I kind of just puttered around. And I just watched more videos of Tanny Raw on Instagram, YouTube. I found other people like Fully Raw Christina, like the Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show, the Whole Food Plant-Based Support Group on Facebook, the Forks Over Knives. I finally started getting into some of the documentaries that I was hearing about, What the Health. And I was watching those documentaries secretly underneath my blanket because my husband just thought it was a whack job. And we were still eating meat and binging together and having so much fun. So then from there, I went into finally that July, again, so of 2018, I signed up for a Tanny Raw Reset, which is this 28 days of amazing, where she gives 35 hours of live content. And there's a private Facebook group, and you learn every possible way to change your life and go towards raw. She meets you where you are. So if you're still doing meat, she encourages you to eat less. If you're, still doing processed vegan, so like packaged junk food vegan, she encourages you to go towards healthier, plant-based live food. If you're already a superhero in the fully plant-based vegan realm, she encourages you to go more raw. So it's just always upping your game. And so I went to that, and it was a blur because there was just like so much stuff, and it was so foreign to me, and I just giggled my way through it and did the best I could. So that was in July of 2018, and then I just kind of continued. Finally, in September of 2018, I started Jules Blessed Vegan, and I had no idea what I was doing. I'd never done videos on YouTube. I didn't have Instagram. I made an account for it, and I just kind of started my daily videos. And so it's really just been 22 months, I guess, right? That I've been as vegan as I could be, and certainly as raw vegan whenever I could be. And I would say I had meat like 2 more times during that time, maybe 2 or 3 more times during that time. I probably had dairy about 6 times during that time. And I've largely been completely committed, to sparing the animals, to definitely growing my own food now, right, with sprouts, microgreens, and all those things, and seeing the difference. So that's why I posted that, because it came up as 3 years ago, and I was trying to do my timeline, and I was like, well, to be fair, I've at best been doing my veganism and raw vegan as best I can for about 2 years and 2 months. So how long is that? Actually 26 months. 2 years and 2 months where I've been as committed as I could be. And I'm just so happy to be on the right path, to know what food is the better food for my health. And in that time, of course, I have absolutely been healed of so many things. I'm off of thyroid medicine. I'm off of bipolar medication. I'm off of medication for depression, let alone a mood stabilizer, because they always build on top, on top, on top, on top, on top. I have my kidneys restored. My migraines are gone. There's so many things that have just been incredible. For what? For choosing to eat God's food, right? And I did a video yesterday. Actually, forgive me, it was a live video today where I popped on for a moment because someone was thinking sprouts were really creepy. And I thought, I don't always love sprouts. Okay, they're not always delicious, but they're always nutritious. They're always life-giving. And sometimes you have to think of food as medicinal. You really do. Our society absolutely lives to eat, because no matter what you do, people just don't know how to get together without surrounding it with food. I mean, sure, we're in the COVID right now, but you know what I mean. It's always, where do you want to meet for lunch? Should we have dinner? And it's never just like, hey, do you want to walk on the beach and talk? It's almost always food-based. Even when I give directions, it's, well, you know where Taco Bell is? And then you go up 3 blocks to that McDonald's, and then you go right, and then you'll see that there's like a Dairy Queen. I'm not kidding you. My husband and I realize that that's what we do. We kind of laugh about it in not a very funny way. So this has been a challenge for me, but a good one, which brings me all back to Lincoln's quote, which I wanted to share for today. And his quote reads, and I'll have this in the description of the video: "My great concern is not whether you have failed, but whether you are content with your failure." So my greatest concern is not whether you have failed, but whether you're content with your failure. And I so get that, because I was thinking, I definitely, at some point, many times, just abandoned any hope for health. I just decided, like everybody else, I was going to be in chronic pain, have my inflammation, be obese, not, have to wear pants with a stretch waist, be buried in a piano. I mean, just like everybody else, that I was just going to let my face go, just have the wrinkles, forget acquiring strength in my body. I couldn't see any other way out. Every single time I made a promise, I broke it regarding food, And through the 12-step program, which has just been such a tremendous blessing for me forever. I mean, seriously, I was like literally 21 when I started Overeaters Anonymous. I was 24 when I was in Codependence Anonymous. I was in, Alcoholics Anonymous at 26. I mean, it's just a really good way. And I started kind of getting scattered and going all different ways, and kind of not trusting that very concrete program that's really, really does work for me, and the community that works for me. And so I'm happy to have found a balance by getting back to that. And it's such a blessing. But what I'm really happy about is that, no, I wasn't content to sit in my failure. Like, my stronger self kept calling and saying, "I'm still in here, Juliana. I am still in here. Might you dare release me?" And I'm still in motion, as you know. I still have weight to lose, and I don't necessarily regret getting as heavy as I did, getting up to 330 pounds, finding myself suddenly back at 281 again, finally getting down below 200 and still going back and forth 15 pounds at a time before I ultimately release all this weight. I don't really regret any of that, because in being compassionate and kind to myself, I know that that's exactly what I had to do to get through what I had to get through. And eating over trauma, eating over fear, eating over not being able to deal in the moment with whatever it was, is what I had to do at the time. And so right now, I don't necessarily eat less. Yes, I keep my calories in a window of like 14 to 1600, but if you guys have seen my jumbo salads, and they do look like they're enough for a small country, but with the understanding that greens are calorie dense. I mean, they're literally only 100 calories a pound of greens. So it's really easy to put a couple pounds of greens, in a bowl and add a lot of fun stuff and still be easily within my calories, and best of all, satiated. So it wasn't necessarily reducing my food to this little humble, precious amount. I'm just able to actually still eat fantastic quantities that actually serve my body now. And for that, I'm so grateful. So no, I have failed, I have faltered, I have fallen. But praise God, I was not content to stay there. And may I continue to go forward. So thanks for being part of Jules Blessed Vegan community and supporting me. I appreciate it so much. And let me support you, as always, by liking if you like, joining us if you haven't, subscribing, and letting me support you in the comments below. And I will happily do that. If I don't have the answer, I will help you find it. But that's really what I wanted to say. I appreciate Abraham Lincoln calling me out. Are you content to stay in that failure, Juliana? No, Abe, I'm not. Thank you for asking. And until we talk again, my friends, best of all, know that there is a better way. It is there for you, for the taking. And know that you're blessed.